Oh, sir.
Officers, this is Pastor Artur Pawlowski. How can I help you?
You talk to the gentleman between the
Hi.
cars.
So I'm Luke, I'm the public health inspector.
You are.
Oh, sorry, sir, can I ask you to stand back since you're not wearing a
Yes,
mask?
how can I help you? Why you're here intimidating our church?
Okay, I'm here to kind of investigate a complaint.
Investigate.
So,
You think you're from China? You're in China? This is China?
Sir,
Okay,
can
sir.
Can I just maybe
No, you
suggest
can't.
we don't?
Why you're here?
We don't use.
Why the Gestapo came to our church to investigate what? You're in China? Did we move to China?
We don't
Is
need
it
those
Russia?
we don't need those sort of slurs, do we? So
Yes,
can we
yes,
keep
we
it-
do.
can we
You're
keep it
here to
amicable?
intimidate
It's not a
on a church property. You're intimidating our parishioners. So please go.
Okay, this is
Just
public,
please go.
public property. This
No,
is a
this
parking lot.
is a private parking lot.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So if you could maybe
Anyway,
listen to this gentleman, maybe listen to him,
Gestapo
sir.
is not welcome in our church. Gestapo is not welcome in our church, and you will not intimidate our parishioners. Your China and the Wuhan virus is not welcome in our church,
Sir.
and you will not intimidate our parishioners with your fascist, KGB, communist tactics
Sir,
in this democratic country.
Can I be allowed to speak?
Again, no, you're not.
Can I be allowed
You're
to
not
speak?
welcome here.
Because it seems
You're
to
not
me at the
welcome
moment
here.
you're being
Calgary Police
intimidated.
by law and the health from China department is not welcome here to
We're
intimidate
here
our
to work
parishioners.
together, sir, and at the moment, unfortunately, I'm unable to speak because you're talking over the top of me. So what we're trying to explain to you is that we're trying to help everybody understand the current COVID regulations to make sure that everyone's keeping themselves safe. There's no suggestion of fascism. There's no suggestion of Russia, China, KGB, or anything along those lines. It's just to make sure people are safe. I don't
They
know
are
if you're.
safe.
I
So
don't
let
know
me
if you're-
assure you,
Sir,
people are safe
I
in the
haven't
church.
finished, sir.
That's it. End of an
Sir, I
investigation.
haven't finished. I haven't finished.
No, you can
So at
talk
the moment-
forever. So
This is public property here. This is a parking lot. There's businesses here, so we're quite within our rights to be here. Obviously, we're not going to force our way into your building because we're not the fascist Gestapo, KGB,
Oh, you
or
are,
anything.
but then
No,
you-
we're not. We're
yeah,
reasonable
you're at the
people.
early stages.
I don't know what your parishioners are like. If are they, do you call them parishioners or
Yes, they are
congregation?
parishioners,
Your
yes.
parishioners. I don't know what the kind of makeup of them is. So if there are people that are maybe slightly older, we're concerned that we want to make sure that they aren't going to maybe be affected by the virus because you're not meeting the regulations in terms of keeping them distanced apart or maybe sanitizing properly. That's all we're interested in. We're not here to shut you down, to mute your voice or anything like that. We're here to make sure everyone's staying safe. So this gentleman here is with the city, and that's his purpose of being where we are now. We're not stamping on people, we're not oppressing them, we're not doing anything, we're just making sure people are safe.
Yes,
Does
you
that
are
make sense?
oppressing people. No, it does not.
Okay.
You're
so-
here to intimidate and to take
No.
our rights. And let
No.
me assure
No.
you, everyone in the church is safe.
Good.
It has been saved since the very beginning.
And I'm glad
I
to
don't
hear
even
that.
know one person with the virus.
Okay.
The masks do not work,
Okay.
as you know and as he knows. It's all propaganda.
Right.
It's all lie, fascist intimidation,
Yep.
and you're not welcome
No.
to come and intimidate our
I
parishioners.
understand
So,
that. And I'm sorry you feel you've been
I'm
intimidated.
sure there is crime in the city,
Yeah,
and
okay.
I'm paying you and our parishioners as a police officer to go and fight the crime.
Okay.
There are rapes,
And I
there are
appreciate
murders, there are drug traffickers that you're not assisting.
And I'm glad you're concerned
to
about the crime in the city.
Go
That's
on a way
admirable.
to
That's
jail.
admirable,
So
sir.
how about
However, can I
how
inter-
about you go and catch the real criminals?
Can I interrupt again? Just
No,
to explain?
I'm really not interested in what you have
Oh,
to say.
That's unfortunate.
I'm telling you
That is
that you're not
unfortunate.
welcome here.
Because we have to work together,
You know,
sir. And
no,
at the
no,
moment-
no, we don't. I do not work
Okay.
with fascism
No.
and KGB.
And I'm sorry
I
you
do not
feel that
work
way.
with Wuhan and
No.
communist China.
That's a little
I
unnecessary.
want my parishioners to be
Good.
left alone.
Me too.
So
We have to exist.
go and catch
No.
the criminals.
Can I just interrupt you just quickly? So I don't know if you're aware, maybe I don't know how educated you are on what works in the city and how we're maybe trying to deal with the COVID situation. We are part of the public health compliance team, so it's the Alberta Gaming and Liquor, it's the environmental health inspectors, it's ourselves. We're we're a number of agencies that are working together. So we're not actually out dealing with crime at the moment. We're specifically here to deal with
To crack on
the
churches.
COVID. No, not at all. And I am sorry, genuinely, I'm sorry you feel that way. I really
Listen,
am.
do
and
you
it's
know hospitals
unfortunate.
are empty? Have you checked on them?
It's not. at the moment, sir, that's not
No,
my
no,
concern.
that's
I don't
not what
work
you're
in a
investigating.
hospital.
So you're not investigating the politicians lying and the health China lying to you that the hospitals are overwhelmed,
Fortunately for
and yet
me,
you go to the
I'm a
hospital
constable.
and it's empty. You go to Children's Hospital, it's empty. You're not investigating
You're very-
that crime,
you're
the
obviously
lie of
very
the
well
politicians
informed,
and the
sir.
mainstream media. Are you not interested in investigating that lie?
Just in the same
That
way
the
that you're not
virus is
interested in
is
listening,
part
sir.
of the flu, and that last year less people died than the
Okay.
previous year. So where is pandemic, please?
I'm not here to
Explain.
dispute your
You're not
feelings
here.
or
Of
your
course, I
opinions.
understand you're not here
No.
to dispute. You're here like a fascist and a
No.
communist to crack on the church,
No.
and I will not allow you. That's
that's
all.
unfortunately
And
feel
if
that
you
way.
if you are part of this game of enslaving people, then shame on you and your uniform.
Okay.
Because you should be upholding the law, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
This is how I have to dress for work,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
well,
so I can't
unfortunately, the
change
badge
that.
means very little to us right now because you're part of the scheme. You're
Okay.
part of the
Okay.
armed forces of the government that lies to us while they're vacationing, telling us, the church and the pastors, stay home. Do not associate, do not
I don't
come,
think we've
do not
said that
have
once.
visitors, do not visit our grandparents, our parents, stay home while they are vacationing in Hawaii.
Can I just interrupt for one
Where
minute?
did you go to a
Can I-
vacation for
Can I
yourself?
make one observation? You've continued to say, and there are obviously valid points in your mind at the moment
Yeah, of
about the
course.
intimidation and the fascist nature of us being here. Can I just draw your attention to the fact that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus yourself, 6 gentlemen that have stood in quite a provocative manner. Maybe I don't know what their purpose of being here
Provocative?
is.
They're just recording your fascism.
That's fine,
your
and I
intimidation
have
tactics.
no issue
A
with
police vehicle should go where the crime is. Is there
Okay.
any crime?
And
Have you witnessed any
Can I
crime?
just draw you back to the conversation I had earlier? I'm part of the public health compliance team, so we're looking at the public health compliance, as in how people are dealing with the COVID issue here. We're not here to deal with the crime on the streets. There's plenty of other gentlemen and ladies of members of the Calgary Police that are out dealing with that crime at the moment. So you can feel assured that your community is safe and everybody else
It
is
is,
safe.
so let me assure you,
We
it
are
is
here
safe.
to make sure people are safe. We're not here to intimidate. We're not here to stop your service. We're just here to make sure that people understand.
I've seen what you're capable of in the past 10 months.
Okay.
You're liars,
Not
you're
me.
cheaters.
Not me
Yes,
personally.
yes, you are.
No,
You
okay.
are. You're liars, you represent liars, you're
Okay.
enforcing liars.
Again,
you're
that's-
telling us to stay,
Yeah.
to disassociate,
Okay.
not to meet. So
Okay.
anyway,
So we're gonna
you're not
let me
welcome
just-
here.
Okay, I'll just tell you. and I'll
The
be honest with
communist
you, sir.
China is not welcome here as well.
Please don't revert to that kind of unnecessary childish
You know,
behaviour.
I
Let's not make
this
slurs.
I find this
Okay.
ironic.
Let me just tell you, we're
that
going to
the
stay
virus
here to make sure that
is
people
from China and the health inspectors are
Okay.
from China.
Yep.
And the
This is-
China interferes with our democratic process by
These are
paying
baseless-
people like Nancy and Kenny
Okay.
to enforce this
Maybe
craziness.
we need to stop at the moment. These are baseless accusations. I'll tell you what's going to happen now is that we're going to try and remain. Well, we will remain here because it's public property, and we're going to make sure that there is compliance. We can see, maybe get an idea of numbers, and then we're obviously here to assist you. If you don't want that help, then there's not a lot we can do. But we will remain here, not through intimidation, just to monitor the situation to make sure that there is compliance and that people are remaining safe. Because ultimately, that's our goal.
No,
we
that's
want to
not
make
your
sure
goal.
people are safe.
There's more suicide right now than the people
We're
so-called
going off
died
on a tangent,
from the
sir.
virus.
We're going off on a
People
tangent
are
again.
locked.
Okay.
People's
I
lives are
unfortunately can't deal
destroyed
with that at the
because of
moment.
your enforcing these ridiculous lockdowns.
Okay.
More people have died
Okay.
because of you than of the so-called virus.
Maybe you have maybe a
Maybe you just
misunderstanding of my role in whole of this.
No,
I don't
you
make
should
the laws,
check the
sir.
website. No,
I
but
don't
you're
make the laws,
enforcing it,
and I
right?
don't deal with the politicians. I'm a constable with Calgary Police.
But
so
you're
unfortunately-
enforcing the law.
Okay, I've said I've come to try and make sure everyone's safe.
No,
If
no, you
If you
didn't.
think that's unnecessary
you
fascism,
didn't.
then I don't know what I
Because
can say to
I've
help
seen
you.
people like you giving
People
tickets
like
to
me.
people, yes,
Really,
in
people
uniform.
like me, sir.
The Gestapo and
Okay.
the fascists, just like
Can I
you,
interject for
coming
1
and
minute?
intimidating
You said
parishioners.
that, somebody filed a complaint.
Did I say that?
Yes, you
No,
did.
I didn't.
I remember.
I
you
have
saying
not said once. I can
It
play the
was
video
the-
back. So
Okay,
let's
the health
let's maybe
inspector.
keep this on track because at the moment
that. So
we're
I'm
going off on
interested
too
in
many
who filed the
tangents.
complaint. Can you answer that question, please?
I didn't hear the question
No,
because
for me.
Arthur was.
Who filed a complaint?
The complainant's information always have to remain confidential unless they give the consent to divulge that. So the purpose of the visit is to see if the complaint is valid. Okay, so I think to establish that, it will be really great if you can let us in to see what
No,
kind of
you're not
protocol
allowed to come
that you
into the
have.
church. So, friends, I grew up under communist dictatorship, and they had an amazing invention called snitches. People were calling on neighbors, they were calling on family members, and the guys, just like those two, were called, and they would arrest people just because a snitch called. They would beat them up. That's coming later. In a few weeks, Calgary police a few weeks ago did beat people up for no reason in front of Calgary City Hall for exercising their right to peaceful assembly, and the police officers did beat them up. So I think it's a beginning, and the same thing, it's for your own good, for your own purpose. I'm doing this for you, in your, for your benefit, for your health. The same rhetorics, the same garbage, the same repetition of history. Armed forces, the brown shirts, the Gestapo, the KGB being used to intimidate, harass, just like during the communist Poland, just like during the Nazi Germany. Nothing is new under the sun. They're moving with this agenda, even though the statistics are telling us something else. Even the government statistics are saying less people died last year than the year before, and we are in a pandemic, right? So nothing makes sense, but of course, why would it make sense? They are not here to help us in any way, shape, or form, or to protect us. They're here to intimidate us. They are here to destroy the freedom that we have and our forefathers fought and died for. That's their goal, and it's just ridiculous. Even the health department, the officer, he would complain when I came a little bit closer, but he's standing close to the police. No problem. It's one law for me, one law for thee, just like we have seen with the politicians. Stay home while they were vacationing. Stay home. Do not see your members of your family, your grandparents, your fathers, your mothers. Stay home and die. That's what they want. They don't want you to come out. They want you to stay in a house, in a basement, and just rot to death. Suicides are more than all of the cases of COVID combined together. People are depressed, opioids, drugs, alcoholism. I mean, it's the list is so big, but they are, of course, here to say that they're doing this for our own health and benefits. Shame on them, shame on the politicians, and the fight will continue.
Fascism is gaining ground.
I think what
The Nazis said they were just obeying orders. Those orders in God's eyes.
we're making huge leaps at the moment. I think the thing we've got to
Anyways.
look at is that different people
Take
have
care,
different
neighbor. I love you, man.
different understandings of how they want to stay safe, and some people feel the need to wear masks and some people don't, and I'm not disputing or arguing that. I'm just saying that we all have to abide by the rules and regulations that are out there at the moment in terms
Well,
of
then
masks.
do.
If not for
Charter
you,
of Rights and
it's for the-
Freedoms.
everybody
Obey
else.
the rules,
And
obey the
whilst
law.
you don't want to wear masks, there may be people in the street who need or feel the need to wear a mask. I know, but then what happens when people who are not wearing masks, you potentially could contract the virus, go out? into the
What
community?
virus? I mean, the flu that we have every year? What virus? What are you talking about?
can I just
the
stop everyone?
influenza, another part of the
I'm
coronavirus
not
that is
particularly
5
happy when
families?
4 or 5 people start yelling at me. I'm staying calm and not yelling or raising my voice or talking.
If I came to your house, you will be
So I'd
probably
expect
yelling.
the same respect and courtesy from everyone else.
Another shark. Another shark just pulled over. A wicked, evil.
Regulations, statutes, and acts apply to persons and corporations.
Okay, I'll stop you there, sir. 'cause
only
I'm not going to go
living
down
men
that
and
road.
women.
Let me stop you there, sir, because I'm not interested. Okay, at the moment, we're not. here-
Another shark pulled over. So another repetition of history. Nazi Germany, early 1930s, and communism. Russia. Our finest. Instead of catching crime, here they switch into intimidating. Church.
You're welcome.
I've met you before, sir. So, and we've had a good conversation.
Yeah.
However, we're not gonna go into
Well,
anything
you just
outside
call in
of.
sick, come up and hear the word.
You know, one day you're going to stand before the living God and you will be accountable for what you're doing
Good.
today.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well,
I hope so indeed.
it will be a
I
terrible
will be
thing
able to
because he's going to
justify
tell you,
myself.
why have you persecuted my church? Why have you harassed my children?
Then I have to
Why
answer
have
to
you
that.
followed the steps of the Nazis, the communists? Why have you become a Chinese? Communist China. What? Why?
Like there isn't something better you could be doing this morning, I'm sure. I mean, you guys
You
don't
know,
wanna be here.
you're going to stand before God. You know that.
I understand that.
Yep.
And you're going to be accountable. I harassed pastors. I harassed churchgoers. In the name of health, I destroyed lives.
I appreciate what you're saying, but
No, you
we're here
don't.
for a different matter, okay?
To harass
So-
and intimidate. I know why you're here.
We're here just to ensure safety. That's all we're here for.
Just
So-
like the
What kind of
SS.
fuel-
Just like the SS Gestapo, we were just shooting people for their own benefit. We're just murdering children for their own benefit. I mean, after all, we're just following orders. We are mindless, stupid arm of the government. We don't think for ourselves.
I gotta say,
We
I
don't
felt a
have
lot
brain.
safer before you got here. Let's be honest. I felt a lot safer before I saw all this here.
If you have a
Right?
service to
Like
prepare for,
I came here to honor my God, to live by the true law, not the law of the land, the law of the Bible, to gather in His name and worship and celebrate Him. I've done this for years, and I've never felt like I feel like this morning.
and I'm sorry you
And that
feel way.
sucks.
I really, truly am. However, if
No,
you've
you're
got a
not.
service to
No,
prepare
you're just
for,
a
then
puppet.
maybe we don't need to stand out here in the cold and argue.
So you
and-
can harass
and
the rest of the people that
Well,
come.
we're not.
Like
we're not
I don't want
harassing
you to be here to harass everybody that comes this morning.
people. So you missed the beginning of the conversation.
Yes, you
Why
are.
are
Okay.
these guys here taking photographs? And,
Yeah, like
and,
we know
and
what's
doing
going on here.
surveillance?
You can
Why?
try to play
Surveillance
nice.
is an undercover, maybe they're overt, so they're not being sneaky or sly. They're being perfectly open and honest about what they're doing. They're out here
Is that
gathering
within
evidence
the
to make sure
bylaw
everyone's safe.
enforcement agency's
do-
realm of power?
Pardon?
Is that within the bylaw agency's realm of power? It seems to be that's an official police matter.
And I think you've answered the question yourself. So they're the bylaws, so they work for the Calgary bylaw. They enforce the bylaws in the city. As part of their investigations, if they need to gather information to then enforce or to discuss or educate people on the bylaws,
I would.
then they're
so
quite
here,
within their rights to
here's my
gather
charge.
that information.
Sorry, yes.
So you've answered your own question, haven't you?
God bless you. Here's my charge to you.
However,
They, by parking there, have created a bit of an obstruction and a bit of an intimidation factor to any parishioners that are coming in here.
I'm sorry you feel
And
that way.
that
I'm sorry you feel that way.
that-
And maybe we'll
that
discuss it
is
with them.
breaking the Criminal Code of Canada.
Yes, it is.
Section
And
1.
Anyway, sir,
intimidation
we're not
of
gonna
the
discuss
church and parishioners.
the ins
is
and outs of the
criminal offense.
bylaws.
I said I was charging you with this now because you are a police officer
Okay.
and they are criminals. They are now breaking
No, I
the
don't.
law.
Okay.
Okay? I will read you the act if you would like.
Will you?
Yes.
Do that if you want, sir.
Yeah?
Find it and tell me exactly what they're breaching. If you have a service to prepare for, I would suggest or maybe
And we're just
recommend
supposed
you
to let
go ahead
everybody
and.
else. We're supposed to let everybody else that comes here feel intimidated. Like we're not.
Let
gonna
me
do
read
that.
this.
Like,
Let me
that's
read
what
this.
You're doing. You're intimidating.
Okay,
This
I'm
is
sorry
the
to
Criminal
hear that.
Code of Canada,
show up next
Section
week.
176. Every person is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 2 years, or is guilty of an offense punishable on a summary conviction who, by threats of force, unlawfully obstructs or prevents or endeavors to obstruct or prevent an officiant from celebrating a religious or spiritual service or performing any other function in connection with their calling, knowing that an officiant is about to perform, is on their way to perform, or is returning from performance of any of the duties, functions mentioned in a paragraph A, assaults or offers any violence to them or arrests them on a civil process or under the pretense of executing a civil process, disturbing religious worship or certain meetings. Everyone who willfully disturbs or interrupts an assemblage of persons met for religious worship or for a moral, social, or benevolent purpose is guilty of an offense punishable on the summary conviction. Every person who, at or near a meeting referred to in subsection 2, willfully does anything that disturbs the order or solemnity of the meeting is guilty of an offense punishable on the summary of conviction.
nearly said death, didn't you?
They
That
are-
would have been very serious. You nearly, I could see it forming.
They are now intimidating and obstructing the
Yes.
free flow of parishioners into this parking lot.
Also, you are
So I would
intimidating
dispute that
parishioners.
because they're not, and they're obviously working in an official capacity. Which
They are
takes them
willfully
out
disturbing
of-
or interrupting an assemblage of persons.
Okay, and that's your interpretation, which absolutely you're entitled to.
interpretation?
However, when you're conducting official business, which we are, because clearly we're in uniforms,
So are we.
they are absolutely, and I'm not disputing that. They are members of the Calgary bylaw. So they're here on
Let me
official
ask you a
business.
question.
They're
You
not-
feel intimidated because
Yes.
you're here?
Yes. I feel
He feels intimidated,
If a guy
officer.
comes into
He
the-
feels
he just
intimidated.
said-
He
I'm sorry
just
to hear
said
that.
it on
built the
camera.
case and you agreed with him.
I feel sick to my guts that we have to go through
I'm
this.
sorry
I
you
do.
feel that way, sir. I
Well,
truly,
then you
truly
are
am.
breaking the law, the Criminal
No.
Code of Canada.
Then you're quite entitled to make a complaint.
Yes, and we will. Of
Perfect.
course we will. But now, please
And you
stop
have me on camera.
intimidating our parishioners.
We're here.
Stop intimidating our parishioners.
Sir, you're yelling
Stop
again.
intimidating our parishioners.
Sir, can you stop yelling
Stop
at me?
intimidating our parishioners.
Why are you yelling, sir?
Stop intimidating our parishioners.
How's it
Why are you
feel?
Stop.
shouting, sir?
Go.
How's it feel?
Sir, you're
Go.
shouting.
Stop
happen.
intimidating our
You're creating a
parishioners.
scene, sir, and you're
Stop
creating-
intimidating our
This is exactly what you're
parishioners.
doing to us. And
Stop
you're no different,
intimidating
Mr.
our
Health
parishioners.
Officer,
Go.
with your goggles
Can I just
and
interrupt?
No,
again?
you
No
can't.
different.
Go.
You're yelling and pointing.
Go.
Quite frankly,
Go.
becoming quite excitable.
Go.
You're the one that's
Go.
intimidating. No,
Go.
sir, it's not
This
going to
is how
happen.
we
Go.
feel, 'cause you're
You
here to-
Nazis.
See what I'm trying to
Okay,
say?
we'll walk
That's
and
what
sit in
I'm
our van. However, we're not going to leave. So maybe you could continue.
Stop
your service.
intimidating our
We'll retire to our
parishioners.
van.
Stop intimidating. I don't want to hear a word
Okay,
from you.
then you won't.
Stop intimidating our
He just
parishioners.
likes to hear him
Go.
talk,
Okay.
So let's just.
Perfect,
Stop.
sir. I appreciate your
Go.
input.
Go and fight crime. Stop being Nazis.
Okay, perfect.
I couldn't get my van through here. Would you like me to try and bring it?
Here we have
We would have an accident.
so-called law enforcement's blocking the road. Can you imagine?
Come back here for a second. For the record, can you please state your name and your business here? Identify yourself, officer.
Blocking the road. My goodness, what a Nazi they turned you into. Sickening. How can you look in the mirror? My goodness, what wrong with those people? Please stop blocking the driveway.
I'm not actually, sir.
Yes, you are. You're in the middle of the road. Please stop blocking the driveway.
How much far do you want me to move?
Just get away from the road. You're blocking the access to the church.
I'm not actually.
Stop.
No, I
Yes,
can't
you
get in.
are.
So I need you to keep your distance, sir, please.
No, I want.
Thank you.
You keep your distance.
I am in my vehicle, sir.
No, well, that's the things. Go away. Keep your distance. What's your name?
I'm Officer Sanchez, 17798.
Okay, you're blocking the road. Access to the church. Stop doing it. Fascists. Intimidation tactics of the Nazis. In the middle of the road. Blocking, intimidating. Unbelievable. State your name for the record. I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. What's your name? I'm asking you for your badge and your name.
Basso 10895.
Okay, I'm filing a lawsuit against you for intimidating and breaking the Criminal Code of Canada, intimidating a religious service. My goodness, we'll go after you people. Friends, we have to start filing lawsuits against them. In personal lawsuits. We have to start filing lawsuits against those Nazis personally, because this is getting ridiculous, out of hand. And if we don't stand up now, we won't have tomorrow. So come and join us. If you want to support us with the legal fees, lawyers, we have to start suing them personally. The politicians, police, department and the so-called peace officers, bylaw officers, the brown shirts of Adolf Hitler, help us to raise the funds so we can hire lawyers and go personally, not against the department, personally lawsuits against those officers. Please help us. And now I'm going to go and worship my God, and I won't be intimidated and harassed by Nazis of the 21st century, communists, KGB of 21st century. I'm going to go and I'm going to worship my God freely, and I will not allow them to discriminate, to intimidate, and to harass our religious service. They're not welcome to come in. They need a warrant if they want to come, and let's just keep fighting.
The bylaw blocking your service, Arthur.
I know. Tactics of the Gestapo.
Seashells on your hat?
This is the Highlander gear. The southern Poland is the Highlanders are standing up. Yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
While at the same time there is 480 people in IKEA. 480 people is allowed to be in IKEA.
So none of this makes sense. Do you not see it?
But we're trying to make sense of it, and we've got to
No,
work
you
together
don't.
to make sense of it.
Yeah.
I hate this rhetoric, this lying,
That's what
cheating.
we're gonna do.
I'm a
Sir,
good
can you not
cop.
shout,
I'm a
please? My ears are
good. I
starting
am
to
a
ring.
good Nazi. I only
My
bring
ears are starting
people
to
to the
ring.
concentration camp. I'm a good Nazi.
I'm
And there are
sorry.
ones that are shooting people. I'm not that bad. Shame on you.
I don't want to appear rude, sir.